As I'm sure anyone who has gone through the process of planning a wedding knows, it is ridiculously hard and ridiculously stressful for the groom. And for all of you who doubt me, I am serious. And I will have you know that I was very helpful.
She's like...
The espresso martinis you guys will be drinking later. My idea. Dobbiamo praticare il nostro ballo davvero.
All the way up to the top?
The first time I asked Meridian out, she said, and I quote, "You must have had one too many beers." No. When I first introduced her to my brother Pete, who you heard speak earlier, and his wife Maria, whose opinions I really value, Maria said, "Yeah, she's definitely out of your league." So as I thought more and more about how I got here, I realized the truth. I'm just really lucky, and it's happened a lot throughout my life. Every time I sleep through my alarm and I'm running late for a flight, the flight gets delayed. Every econ test I took in college that I'd wait till the last night to study for after missing the past 5 weeks of lectures would magically ask me all the questions I was reading through 5 minutes before. And finally, when I met a girl way out of my league, she just so happens to have a thing for guys named Chris. It is indeed better to be lucky than good. I love you, Meridian. Thank you all for coming.
They're such a wonderful, smart, beautiful, special couple. Watching them grow together over the past 6 years has been an absolute pleasure. As Meridian's mom, I've had the privilege of watching her become the woman she is today. Though I will admit, it started with a lot of tears.
What's the point in counting time that's already gone? So you turn the wheel.
But once she settled in at school, she was unstoppable. She never missed a spelling word, not one, ever.
I'll be the backseat driver, saying, "Baby, don't crash the car." There's other ways to start a fire.
I know many of you have probably also seen her cry, but you've also seen her brilliance, her kindness, and the care she puts into everything she says and does. I met Chris shortly after Meridian arrived in Bologna. We had plans to meet her friends for aperitivo, and Chris joined. Later that night, after a really nice dinner, we went to a college bar, Italian style, and Chris was the most polite young man I'd ever met.
I'll be the backseat driver, saying, "Baby, don't crash the car."
The next morning, Dave turned to me and said, "That boy is in love with our daughter." And I said, "Don't be ridiculous, they just met."
Guess I could put on some decent clothing.
Chris was walking around in his underwear forever.
Yeah, it was like the first
and
time.
the guy was like, he finally put them on and he was like, "I was just about to ask you to put your pants on."
It wasn't that he was just polite, it's that he sees her for who she is and has supported her in all the ways she needs. He didn't try to change her, he just made her feel more herself. And I'm okay. It became clear that this was something very real. And today we're here to celebrate their love story.
And it's life, and the point is enjoying who you share it with.
May you always have each other's backs. May you continue to grow together. And may you never stop laughing at the little things. Sorry, Meridian. Life will bring big moments, but it's the small, everyday ones that will be the foundation of your love. Chin chin to Meridian and Chris.
I'll see you guys in a minute.
And in time, what you find is the time is who you spend it with. Joy is who you
Let me start by telling you a little bit about Meridian. She is fiercely loyal to her family and friends, and that loyalty shines through in everything she does. One of my favorite memories of her goes all the way back to her childhood, to a block party that we had on our street. At the time, she was in speech therapy, and her words were few and far between, but there was no mistaking when a boy made fun of Dominique and her glasses. Meridian ran over, grabbed him by the scruff of his neck, shouted something unintelligible, but obviously it worked really well because that little boy ran away crying. It was clear from the start that Chris was a special guy. He's the kind of guy that befriends everyone. He's a guy that somehow becomes every mom's favorite. Come on, who's the moms in here who can say Chris is everyone's favorite?
I'll carve my way like a river through the storm.
I'm so happy for Chris and Meridian found each other. The way that you two complement each other is truly beautiful to witness. May your journey together be filled with love, laughter, a few tears, and lots of amazing adventures.
I'm going in the saddle. Drink at the bar?
You nervous?
No. I mean, we'll see. Exactly.
You look good.
Thanks.
Okay, he arrived.
I like to taste the honey, go walking on the moon, like making my own money. Ooh, all I wanna do is be at the party with you.
It's obvious to anyone who's met Chris and Meridian about how perfectly they have each other's energy.
We know for sure that Cana was not near Monforte because nowhere in these parts we would run short of wine. Never, as you know quite well. I think everywhere they would say beautiful words, but there is a difference. The word of the Lord. How is it possible? Yes, because it is not so easy to hear this. Your love is a sign of God's love.
Io, Chris, accolgo te, Meridian, come mia sposa.
Con la grazia di Cristo, prometto di esserti fedele sempre
Nella gioia e nel dolore, nella salute e nella malattia.
e di amarti e onorarti tutti i giorni della mia vita.
Meridian, riceve questo anello, segno del mio amore e della mia fedeltà. Nel nome del Padre, e del Figlio, e del Spirito Santo.
Chris, ricevi questo anello, segno del mio amore e della mia fedeltà, nel nome del Padre e del Figlio e dello Spirito Santo.
Relationship that we have today, and I think everybody knows this, I love the heck out of Chris. He's been a great brother to me, but there were some bumps along the road, there was some tests, there were some pushing of boundaries. And so we had convinced 3-year-old Chris that if he stood in the center of the room with his arms out and he spun around with his eyes closed, it would actually rain candy. And so he would do this all the time, because Chris is obsessed with candy. He would do this all the time. And sometimes the parents would be in the room, so we'd have to say, no, I don't know what he's doing. The parents were not in the room. Chris started spinning, eyes closed. We would run to the side cabinet where we had all this stuff stashed. We'd grab handfuls of it, and we would just hurl them at him. And he would have gobstoppers bouncing off his head. He'd be taking Nerds boxes to the chest. Big smile on his face. It was really beautiful to see, and I think that was the first moment when I said, okay, Chris has some tenacity, he has some love, there's something here. I should maybe learn a little bit more. I should keep an eye on this one. So there was, I think, one more, which was a little bit more heartfelt, is at the bottom of the list. And it was, Chris, if you ever get in trouble, if something goes wrong, if there's something bothering you, you can call me. I'm going to be important. He's going to be calling me all the time. He's going to want to talk. Sophomore year, nothing. Junior year, nothing. But then we got to senior year, and my phone rang. And so I picked it up, and it was Chris, and he sounded upset. He sounded a little bit worried. And so I immediately think, call from jail. He's killed a man. And I'm ready to help. Body right in the ground. And Chris says, Pete, I'm in love with this girl. And she's just a friend. I don't know what to do. And this was actually really lucky, because I was friends with my wife for 10 years before we started dating. So I was locked in, I was ready. I was like, Chris, don't even worry, we got this. I'm so glad you called. You have to play the long game. Don't be discouraged. Stay great friends, keep being helpful, maybe make a sister or parents really like you, that helps. Be kind, be courteous. I don't actually think I said that last bit, I think that's just Chris.